Hey guys, Chris here. Just wanted to do a quick video on my Mosmatic gun, my experience with the additional parts that I have here, which are the Mosmatic coupler and plug, and the issues that I kind of ran into when I upgraded these parts for this gun. And so if you don't know, these Mosmatic parts here, the coupler and the plug, are new to the Obsessed Garage website. Well, relatively new. I can't remember when Matt added them, but it's an upgrade from when I originally had General Pump / MTM Hydro parts that were on here. But what I wanted to talk about is the kind of inconsistencies in compatibility across the kind of brands that I've tested and used with this gun, as well as beyond in my whole pressure washer setup. So we'll start with the plug here. I actually bought these both at the same time, but when I used this plug, I originally was using this brass MTM Hydro coupler on my Cobra Jet hose, and so there's no issue. I didn't have any problems with this brass coupler, but I decided to upgrade to stainless steel. It would have been one of the last pieces. I think it probably is the last piece that I have that I haven't upgraded to stainless steel from brass, so I wanted to change that out. But so I ordered the brass coupler at the same time that I got this plug, and I actually don't have that coupler anymore, and the reason why is because it was leaking. And so I bought an MTM Hydro coupler, 3/8 coupler, to go with this plug from Matt from Obsessed Garage, and I kind of just have this piece as a reference. This is just an extra one. This came from my Cox Reels hose. It kind of just came with it, but wanted to talk about how I was having issues. And so when I installed this new plug, I also installed the coupler, and right away when I started using this gun, I got massive leaks. It was leaking like crazy, and I actually had swapped this back in, tried this, put this coupler back onto the Cobra Jet hose instead of, like, the extra one that I got. And when I attached this one, I didn't have any leaks at all. And so I reached out to Matt's customer service, and they had actually told me that MTM had changed their manufacturer, and there was some inconsistencies. Well, not inconsistencies, but there's some issues with compatibility with Mosmatic parts. But what actually changed, and that's similar to, I remember how it looked, and you can see how the branding here is on the collar. On that new one that I actually received, the collar's blank, and they just had like a quick stamp, and it said like MTM Veloci or Veloci MTM, whatever it was. And I just wanted to kind of note that I don't know if MTM is still using that same manufacturer, but if you want to upgrade to these Mosmatic parts here, they don't work. You'll get leaks and you'll have to replace them. And what I'm using now is, I didn't actually upgrade the coupler, the 3/8 coupler on my hose end to the Mosmatic, because I know the hose end gets a bit more abuse in the gun, and I'd rather not spend the $42 something on a coupler that's going to get beat up. I know they're dispensable parts. I just don't really want to get these messed up, considering how much I've spent on them. And so what I actually ended up doing is getting a General Pump 3/8 coupler, and that worked. So I have a stainless coupler at the end of this, and there's no leaks with the General Pump brand. But if you're going to go with a Mosmatic plug, I'd caution you to buy the MTM. I'd probably go with General Pump, just because I know from personal experience and testing is that worked. What's interesting is I didn't have any issues with this one, and so if it's the old manufactured ones, I guess it's not a problem. But the new ones that don't have the MTM branding here, I had leaks. Okay. So the other thing I wanted to talk about is this end here, this Mosmatic coupler. And this is a great coupler. It's just nice and smooth. It sounds great. It has a really nice feel as opposed to, like, you know, the MTM ones. It's, you can hear the difference. Sorry, hit the camera. The issue I had with these is the nozzles. So I originally didn't upgrade these nozzle pieces, and, you know, realistically you're going to be using the 40, so I'll use the 40 here. When you attach it to the coupler, it's very sensitive to the spinning, and it was more so when I was washing my wheels than anything. Is I would gently put the gun down and then bring it back up after I cleaned it with the brushes, and this would have turned. And it's so loose and kind of fidgety that I ended up just buying these new ones, these Mosmatic ones, and these were not cheap. I think these are over 40 bucks. But it's not something I planned to kind of buy when I upgraded this coupler. And the main reason why I upgraded these, honestly, is this coupler, because I think it looks stunning. And you can actually, the thread let me go torque it down almost like to where there's almost like no gap. And I think it looks great. But when I originally had it with this here, it's like nice and tight. I mean, it turns a little bit, but you really gotta get in there to turn it, as opposed to, you know, when it was in here, like, it's so loose, and now it's super annoying. And so I actually just bought these probably a couple months before I upgraded to this, and then now these are kind of useless. And I ended up having to buy these, which are great. I mean, they look great, they fit, there's no issues. Actually, I have a marking. One thing about the difference between these two, and I think Matt's talked about it too, is the fan pattern. You can see like this two outside little prongs like show you like where the fan pattern is going to be, and when you're holding the gun this way, you can see that, oh, it's you know, it's going to be crooked, or it's going to be like this. With this one, I mean, you have no idea. It all looks the same. And so what I did was I marked it with a pen here. I'll probably have to go back and do it with whiteout or something so I can see it better. But these fit great. No other issues aside from, you know, not being able to see the fan pattern consistently, but I'm only having to do that when I first plug it in. I'm not getting any shifting like these do, but it is still kind of annoying. Probably just put like a whiteout little dot here or whatever. But so my kind of point is, when I bought this, I didn't plan on buying these or having to struggle with these couplers. I'm not going to blame anyone on that. I mean, there's so many parts out there, and it's hard to say who's going to do what with what. There's nothing wrong with the parts individually. It's just when you kind of put them together, you start running into issues. So I think for anyone out there that's looking to upgrade to these pieces, just be aware that you might end up having to buy these, because this is over 40 bucks, and then these are over 40 bucks too. You're looking at over the price of the gun for just some fitting pieces. I can't say it's ridiculous, but I ended up spending more than I wanted to with this setup just to kind of get things right. So yeah, I hope this video was helpful for anyone out there looking or curious. And yep, see you next time.